All right, so let's get to some of these best acting stocks. We want to go to Sector Spotlight, which is going to this high beta tech we were just talking about, showing a lot of strength. Let's see what we can learn from them. We want to start with Amazon. Killer day. It closed above, 200. There was an upgrade from Morgan Stanley citing wider margins. Sure, it's good on a good day. So what do you do now? What do you do for the next 2 days?
Well, recently we talked about these key stocks that have held their moving averages higher. Amazon held the 100-day. Markets went to the 200-day. Key relative strength rules. There was a little bit of a pivot at 195. I think this stock makes new highs before the rest of them. And if you look here at Amazon, it had a big move yesterday. You had an entry right here when it broke this descending channel. Another entry right here when it broke above this bull flag. Next resistance is these old highs. I do think at some point it's going to make a move above them. It might take it a little bit closer to earnings.
For an investor, though, have you missed your chance for now?
If you have a long-term time horizon, it seems like you could buy this thing at any given point. I would rather you get the right entry. We've just seen 2 of them. So now let it hold higher, and then when it gets above, I would say 202, then they get back involved. Just make sure that these retracement rules follow.
And what about Apple? Closed up almost 2% on Monday. Will this be kind of a failed breakup? Because Apple's been working itself in a wishy-washy kind of pattern.
Yeah, well, Apple had that pivot low around 310.50. Since then, you could have been buying it on dips. It showed relative strength starting last Thursday. But now it's getting a little bit more dangerous just to be a buyer because the 50-day is coming up. I want to show you where that is. And this could be some resistance as the bounce continues to 337, 338. Then you have this long-standing descending trend line that might not be resolved until earnings, and earnings are in 3 weeks from now. So the easy part of this bounce for traders, I feel, is in the bag. We have a bit more room. And then I think you need to be much more cautious.
I also feel like Apple isn't sort of the sexy stock to own for portfolio managers right now, as it was, say, in the past.
Well, people are saying it's over-owned, and they're like, who needs to buy Apple now? And again, it's a high-price stock. I do think that institutions have to be there. The question is, can they add to it?
Right.
Yeah. And then will the stock actually finally break out again? And I do think it does. It just is taking a lot of time here.
And let's go to Netflix. Closed up more than 1%. That was after getting smacked last week because it lost Sony Pictures from its online streaming business. That will probably resolve later down the road, but it might result in higher costs down the road for Netflix as well. So, same question. Same pattern here?
It's above all the moving averages. I wouldn't play with it right now. It's a little trickier than the other ones. It's a little
It has
thin.
some noise.
It has some noise. And 262 to 263 is another resistance area. I would see how it handles that. I'm going to avoid it for now.
Quick check in with Baidu and Sina to see how these guys are holding up. They had pretty monster moves yesterday, especially Sina up over 6%.
Well, Baidu and Sina both held their 200 days. They've been great trades since then. On Thursday, they showed unbelievable relative strength. I didn't get to the chart yet, but I'll get to it right now. As far as today, could be tricky because remember I just talked to you about the 50-day moving average on Apple. Well, look where we are now. This was your entry when it broke this last descending channel after holding the 200-day. Now it's into the 50, so this area is going to be some resistance. So I would not be chasing to buy these two. I think the easy part of that bounce already took place.
And we will get to some good ways to make some money, maybe some easier stocks to make some money off of right after this.